So we are about 1 week away from Apple's odd-dropping event, and I managed to get my hands on a one-to-one iPhone 17 Air replica and dummy the case manufacturers use to make sure they have the correct specs for the cases they're about to release, and I think this phone is the future of what Apple has in store. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything we know about the iPhone 17 Air, the good, the bad, but then also Apple's bigger plan and why this phone is going to exist in the first place. Let's get into it. But now, before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this one where we keep you up to date on all things Apple, consider subscribing to the channel, especially because during iPhone season, we're going to have an abundance of content to help you guys decide on which iPhone is best for you. But now, let's talk about why this iPhone 17 Air exists. So let's start off with why I'm excited for this iPhone 17 Air, and it has to be the fact that it's something that's going to be new for the first time in a little while. Albeit, it still is a candy bar design, and from a footprint, and if you look at it straight on, it's going to look like a regular iPhone, but Apple is pushing the boundaries from a design standpoint and material science standpoint. So what to expect from this design is going to be something brand new, which is a 5.5mm thin iPhone with something that we've never seen before. If you guys have seen the iPad Pro, the newest one, the current one, the 11-inch one is 5.4mm in thickness, so if you have that around you, that's basically how thin this iPhone is going to be moving forward. This is also going to be a new size for any iPhone. Of course, we're going to have the regular 17, which is going to be 6.3 inches in size, but this is going to be a 6.6-inch diagonal display, which is something that we haven't had before. So it's going to fit between the iPhone 17, the 17 Pro, and the 17 Pro Max from a design standpoint and a size standpoint. And from all the leaks and rumors that we've heard, this will go up to 120 Hz. It remains yet to be seen if this is going to be the good LTPO3 that we're going to get and the real Pro Motion, if maybe Apple's going to categorize this as a different display tech, but it should go all the way up to 120 Hz. It just remains yet to be seen how variable that's all going to be. And that's going to be a running theme with this phone. It's going to have a lot of pro level specs. For example, it's going to have the A19 Pro chip in there. It'll have one less GPU core to not really be as much as the Pro, but still A19 Pro chip nonetheless, and then also 12 gigs of RAM. So it's going to have almost these pro level-esque kind of specs. So it will be interesting to see how Apple sells this to us. Is this a premium phone? Is this a pro level phone? Is this kind of just another base level phone? Is this just a replacement of the 17 Plus? All things that I'm curious to see how Apple really markets towards us in the future. And while yes, this does have some pro level features internally, there are a decent amount of trade-offs for something this thin. For example, the first thing we're going to see is that this is going to have a much smaller battery than all the normal iPhones in the iPhone 17 lineup. This should have anywhere between a 2800 to a 3200 milliamp hour battery, which is small. And for comparison's sake, the current iPhone 16 Pro Max is about 50% larger from a battery size perspective at around 4600 milliamp hours, and this one's going to be around 3000 milliamp hours. So again, we will see a hit to battery life on this iPhone because of how thin it is. Also, another trade-off that you're having is going to be only one single camera sensor on the rear. It will be the 48 megapixel main shooter from the main iPhones that we've seen in the past, and Apple will definitely market this as having two focal lengths because it'll have the regular 1x and then the 2x kind of optical where it just crops into the middle 12 megapixels. Kind of illusion, but again, Apple will market this as 2x optical, which is kind of funny. And then another big one for people outside of the US is that this is going to be eSIM-only. It's going to be the only iPhone in the entire world to be fully eSIM. In the US, we're used to that already because we got rid of the physical SIM card slot, but everywhere else in the world, people are still getting physical SIM cards because, again, that's just a much easier technology than relying on eSIM 100% of the time. Some people were up in the air as to whether or not this will have MagSafe and if Apple will forego that to again make it thinner, but it seems like Apple will still be able to provide MagSafe charging for this iPhone 17 Air, and it should be Qi 2.2, giving us 25 watts of wireless charging. Also, we will have a USB-C port, but we're not sure if it's going to be a regular 2.0 speed USB-C port or a 3.0 speed USB-C port because if you do work with larger data files, this is a drastic difference in speed. Take it from me, who's transferred video out of a regular iPhone 16 versus a 16 Pro Max. The speeds are night and day, so hopefully we still get the premium USB-C port that we see in the Pro models and not the regular models. So now the main question here is, why is Apple making such a thin phone? Is it just to have something different, to see if maybe from a design and style standpoint it's something that resonates with people, because iPhones have been pretty much the same thickness, the same size, the same form factor for a very long time now, and maybe Apple injecting something a little bit new, even though yes, from the front and the back it's still a candy bar design, it'll feel much different. Like this in the hand feels light years different than a 16 Pro Max or a 16 or a 16 Pro just because of how thin it is. The fact that we can have such a thin phone in our hands and still have the full operating system and the full experience of an iPhone is something that you definitely need to hold onto and physically touch yourself to understand how thin and how kind of revolutionary this thinness is. But I also think there's a couple more reasons why Apple's doing this. First and foremost, it's going to be the fact that we are now kind of creeping towards that 20th anniversary iPhone, and I think this is Apple showing us that this is going to be the way that future iPhones are going to be, but then also to showcase how thin this looks like when we go to the eventual iPhone Fold. This could be the thinness of one side of an iPhone, or maybe they're working on something that's even thinner when it is fully open, when the iPhone Fold does come out, hopefully next year, to compete with the Fold 7s of the world. So maybe this is Apple showing off that, hey, we can make an ultra thin phone, and this is how thin our future version of an iPhone Fold is going to be when you do open this up side by side. So imagine two of these next to each other, and that's how thin the iPhone Fold should be moving forward. So those are all things Apple's working on and tinkering with to see what they can do with an ultimate production level product. The last question that I have, which I'm just still unsure about, is how Apple is going to market this to us. Is this a premium phone? Is this a regular iPhone 17? Is this just replacing the 17 Plus? There are rumors that this is going to be $949, making it $50 more expensive than the 16 Plus that is right now. But let's see how Apple shows this off to us. I'm very, very curious to see how this ends up being played out and who the target audience is for this. Again, since I recently moved over to a kind of real camera, quote unquote, right in front of me, I see myself maybe gravitating toward this thin iPhone. But again, if I'm just going to slap a case on this, or if I'm going to rely on MagSafe batteries 24/7 to make sure that I have enough battery, then what even is the point at this point, right? All things that we're going to eventually find out when it does release. September, I believe 18th is going to be the final release date. But stay tuned, get subscribed. If you guys have any more questions, leave them down below as to what you want to know about this iPhone 17 Air moving forward. But let me know, comment down below if you guys are going to pick one up. Are you excited for the 17 Air? Are you going to wait maybe for next year's Fold? Always curious to know. But if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this one, check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone. This thing is crazy thin. I mean, look at this. Insane.